Good evening, ma'am. This is Harsh Malani of Karunya University CST department. This is my data structure 7th program. The program is about selection sort and insertion sort. I'll start my program with selection sort. In this selection sort, we have to select an element which is less than or greater. Now, first we'll initialize that int mini string temp. Um, for for loop will be using I equal to 0, I less than minus 1, I increment, mini equal to 1. This will be using for loop int j equal to I plus 1, j less than n, j increment. Now we'll be using if statement. If a of mini is greater than a of j, mini is equals to j. Temp equal to a of I equal to a of mini equal to temp. In this selection sort, first we'll select an element. Then we have to check which is the which is in an array. Which now, for example, let's say A is the first element. We'll be checking the rest of the elements whether A comes first or no. In the selection sort, we'll be comparing one array to another array. This is about selection sort. Now in the insertion sort, we initialize for selection sort. Insertion sort will give a command for loop I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n minus 1, I increment to a string. Then we'll be using string t of a of I, t equal to a of I into j equal to minus 1, while a of j less than t and j greater than 0. Then we'll be using a statement called as a of j plus 1, like the first element plus 1 equal to a of j, j decrementer. A of j plus 1 equal to t. So this is nothing but t is equals to a of j. Now we'll be using Now I'll be writing the main function. In the main function, first we'll initialize three characters, three things, which is nothing but int n. N is nothing but the size of an array, and choice statement will be using. Then we'll use the character. Now cout enter the size of an array. String a of n. Enter the element of an array. That will be using a for loop. For loop, in that will be giving a statement I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. C in A greater A of I. See out the element in an array R. For that we'll be using for loop. I int j equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Then we'll be using do while loop. And in this do while loop, it's nothing like do while loop. We can use only do loop. In this in this we'll be using switch case. This is nothing but do while loop only. Do and first choice one will give selection sort. Second choice will be insertion sort. Now enter the choice to perform the sorting. Now switch case. Case one is the selection sort. Will be selecting an element. Um, in this, we'll be using a statement called for loop k equal to 0, k less than n, k increment. Then we'll be breaking. Mm, Now case 2 insertion sort. In that we'll be using L equal to 0, L is less than n. L increment. Then default statement wrong. Now we'll be giving a command for which see out if if you want to continue enter y. And while loop does character equal to y and character equal to capital Y or character equal to y. Now I'll show you the output for this program. Now enter the size. Let's say the size is 5. Then enter the element A, S, D, F, G. The element in array. Now I'll give the first choice. In the first choice, I'll give 1. This is nothing but a selection sort. Now it will select the value like which is like according to the alphabet. After A comes D. So when I enter the element D, it is in the third. When I initialize, it is third. But when we are selecting, it comes second, because we will be comparing two values, and which is the nearest value, we'll be giving that. So then I have to continue. I'll press Y now. Second option is insertion sort. The values which are inserted are S, G, F, D, A. This is in the reverse order. We'll be inserting the value. This is my program for 7th. Thank you for watching my video.